Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again. Here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my final Q&A video leading up to the premiere of The Walking Dead Season 5. All right, cool. So yeah, the final one did quite a few, almost 20. I mean, geez, that's a lot. That's a lot of Q&As. So it was a lot of weeks, a lot of Q&As. The break was pretty good this year. Was able to do quite a few videos. I feel like pretty good. But anyway, I'll save that for a kind of channel updates. Talk a little bit about the channel and about what I'm going to be doing going forward for season 5. How many videos you guys can expect. How many I'm going to be doing each week. Of course, just like last year, predictions, reviews are automatic. And this weekend, of course, for the premiere review, going to be giving away 5 copies of The Walking Dead Season 4 on either Blu-ray or DVD, as you guys who have watched probably already know by now. So if you haven't heard that or you missed some of the other videos, yeah, that's going to be coming up this weekend. Going to be doing that as part of the review for the premiere. So really excited, man. It's been a long wait, but it's gone by quick, and really excited to see the premiere of the show this Sunday. So we've only got basically 2 more days from the time I'm releasing this video to the actual premiere. Booked off a couple days off work, so I'm really excited to be able to do that. Probably have lots of videos coming because as a result, and just going to be lots of fun. So should have some fun stuff coming this weekend. So really excited for the premiere. Let me know what you guys think about maybe doing a live stream. I've thought a little bit about that. I don't know if I'm going to do it this time because, they tend to be like an hour long. So I don't know. I may or may not do that. But definitely going to make lots of videos after the premiere is done on Sunday night. That's for sure. It'll be, some late releases early into the morning, but we'll do it. So, yeah, so without further ado, let's get into the final questions. That said, I mean, you guys can still send me questions if you want to. You don't, just because, the episode's finally airing and all that, you don't have to stop sending me questions. I can still do Q&As as the season's going. Maybe if people like them, I could even do like one a week or something, where I do some specific, questions about each episode or something like that after the episode is aired. So a weekly Q&A. At this point, I think that might even make sense for some topics that don't justify a video, but are enough that I can at least answer some good questions on them. So yeah. So that said, let's get into the questions without further ado. I've got 9 here, so we'll see if we can get through them all. Hopefully we will. First question is from Maz Pro, and he or she asks, do you think they'll put Ezekiel's tiger in the show, and how? He lists off CGI, real or practical tiger, like actually having a tiger, or will they make it different? Will they choose like a different animal? Will they do, how could they make it work? How could they do it? That's a really, really good question, man. Now this would probably come into play season 6 or 7, I want to say, with a lean towards season 7. Yeah, maybe 8 at latest, maybe 8 at the latest. How are they going to do the tiger if they do the tiger? Those of you who don't know who Ezekiel is, who don't read the comic book series, he's a leader of a community called the Kingdom. He kind of fancies himself some kind of king in the kingdom, and yes, he has a tiger. And it's I think it's like a Bengal tiger. I think that's the type of tiger it's going to be. So I'd like to see them do that practical. Now, here's one thing to say is that he's not in the comic book series that much. So they could have the tiger and just kind of, show the tiger every once in a while, so not all the time. I would hope they would do practical effects with it. Although, of course, that would be dangerous. That would be hard for them to do. I think they kind of have to. Now here's the trick, though. With regards to that, you would have to mix in some CG with the practical, I think, for the tiger for when he gets into a scuffle with some zombies, because you wouldn't want zombie actors scaring the tiger and having the tiger just go all out on some zombie extras getting smashed by a tiger. I mean, they're so strong, and their claws and everything. Teeth and all that. He could, one swipe could kill somebody or close to it, right? Put him in the ER for a while. So I think they would have to mix in CG when it comes to actual fighting against zombies and that kind of thing. We do know that the zombie infection does not affect animals from what we've seen, so the tiger should be all right even if she gets bitten. She's kind of immune in a way, right? So I think they should do it practical. I really do. Even though I know it'd be hard, I think they should mostly do it practical with a little CG. All CG is hard to do on a TV show budget because CG is really expensive. And I think they will probably do it either real or they just won't do it at all. They could also do something like, it wouldn't be as cool with a whole kingdom perspective, but they could also just, I don't know, maybe do something with some horses or something, give them like a horse, and I don't know, like turn him into some kind of knight or something, or, like a jouster, like a zombie jouster. I don't know, something like that. Or give him a really cool horse, or maybe, how about like a dog or something? I don't know, something like a pit bull or something. That'd be kind of cool, but it wouldn't have the kingdom feel to it, would it? For something like that, you need something special. You need like a special animal. So, or give him like a small cat. I don't know. Although that wouldn't be too fearsome or too good in terms of, killing zombies. But, something like that. I hope it's a full-fledged real tiger. That's what I'm hoping for. When we get there. That'll be cool, by the way. Cool. So good question, man. Thanks. Next one's going to be from Joshua Kaiser. And he wants to know, with the overall story, how different do I think it's going to be because Judith is still alive? In the comic book series, Judith gets killed off at the prison story arc. So in the TV series, she's still alive. I think it'll be a bit different. It'll be a little bit harder for them to be on the road with a baby, of course, and crying and all that. But I don't feel like it's going to make the overall story that much different. Once they find a community to stay at, it'll just add to Rick's motivation. It'll add to him wanting to keep the group safe as a whole, and those types of things. It's going to change some things for sure. Carl and Rick won't be able to just leave a group and want to just get out if there's a herd of zombies coming through or something. He'll have to try to stay and protect her. So, it's going to change some things, but it won't change that much. Some small dynamics, but nothing huge, I don't think. So good question. Red October asks, what do you think about no webisodes this year? Or that's a good one because people have been asking me here and there about the webisodes. Now we're at premiere. There's no webisodes. So I'm to assume there's not going to be any. Maybe they won't do them going forward. But I will say, it makes sense because let's think about it. You've got 16 episodes they're doing. So that's a ton right off the bat. And then in addition to that, we've got the spin-off companion series that's going to be starting. So to me, the webisodes are like an additional little thing on top of that. And since they're starting a spin-off series rather than like a little webisode, we're going to get a whole series. So we can't be too upset about it. I mean, if they just didn't have time this year, maybe they were crammed for filming and they had a lot of, because season 5 is going to be a tough season to do. They don't have a home base already built. They have the terminus, but they're going to have to do a lot of stuff on the road, and there's going to be a lot of work for them to do with season 5 versus season 4, which, they already had the prison. They had to change it. They did some things with it, and they did destroy it, but I feel like season 5 is going to be pretty hard to do. So it sounds like to me maybe they just didn't get around to it, or they decided they're not going to do them going forward. It's not like they need to build up, hype for the show with a webisodes or something. At the beginning it made sense, but now it's like, do they really need to do it? I guess not. And a lot of them, they didn't tie very well into the show either. So, they're kind of useless. Like the characters never crossed over into the series, which I felt like was kind of a waste. And, I don't know, like in a little bit. Bicycle Girl is an exception, but aside from that, it didn't really cross over that well. So whatever. If there's no webisodes, there's no webisodes. Oh well, what are you going to do, right? I did like them, but oh well, what are we going to do? Can't be too upset about it with the amount of Walking Dead we're already getting, right? So that's that. Question from Taurus is thoughts on the actor who plays, or just the character from Gotham, and that's the Penguin. And he's the same guy that's in The Walking Dead. He played Sam in season 4, who is the guy with the girlfriend with the broken leg who Carol and Rick ran into just before the whole governor thing. When Rick told her she couldn't come back, there was a couple they ran into. The one guy who plays Sam, the actor who plays him, is in Gotham, and he plays the Penguin in it. And I won't keep this too long because this is mostly a Walking Dead one, but he is great, man. He is so perfect. I hope we'll see him in season 5. I think we're going to, by the way. I think he's at Terminus. Sam, the character, is. He just plays this really creepy kind of, he's just got this look to him. He's really just this creepy, like kind of like defect, or not defect, but demented kind of. I don't want to say like demented, but just kind of a little bit off type of person, type of character, and it's perfect for the Penguin in Gotham. I really love that he's not physically intimidating, but he uses like little things, like he'll use a knife. Like if a bigger guy grabs him, he'll use a knife real quick, and he's really awkward the way he moves and everything, and he is really good in Gotham. I mean, he is like the best character in Gotham, I would have to say, even more so than the lead character. As a villain, he's like the quintessential Penguin to me in terms of live action, even better than Danny DeVito's Penguin. Even at this point, only a few episodes in, I think he's a better Penguin. I just love what they've done with him in Gotham. So if you guys check out Gotham, let me know what your thoughts are on the Penguin in that as well. But anyway, great actor, and can't wait to see what they do with him in season 5, if anything, because I know he's working on Gotham like crazy. So, but man, he does a great job. Really, really good actor. I think he's awesome. And great character. Of course, the Penguin's amazing. So you can't go wrong with that. One of the biggest Batman villains there is. So yeah, can't go wrong. Hopefully we'll see the Joker eventually. Next question is from Charlie Feldrum. Would Walking Dead be better if they followed the comics exactly? At least in my opinion. I've talked about this a bit before, so I'll go quickly for this one. I don't think so. Personally, no. I mean, if it was exactly like the comics, you run into the danger of them catching up to the comics a lot faster, because then you wouldn't be able to add other things in, and you wouldn't be able to get other characters like Daryl and Merle, and they've just... The TV series, for me anyway. Now I know people in my last Q&A, there's still people that love the comic series more than the TV series, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. If you like it more, that's cool. At a time, I did. The first season or so, I liked maybe even second season, I liked the comic series better. But at this point, I like the TV series up to where it gets to better. When you look at what the TV series has covered, I like David Morrissey's Governor. I liked kind of the back and forth of what happened with him and how he eventually attacked the prison afterwards when we kind of least expected it. I thought that was really cool when the characters weren't prepared for it. I really like a lot of the interpretations of the actors and the people, how they've taken the characters. Now, some of them are different. Some changes aren't the best. Like you've got the Andrea change, which I didn't like. But, for the most part, I don't think the show would be better if they followed it exactly. It would take away from the suspense. It would take away from the kind of us not knowing. And we get really excited for the episodes because we really don't know what we're going to see. If it was more like Game of Thrones or a show where it follows it to the T, it takes a bit away of that excitement because you know exactly what you're going to get for the most part, right? And that is not as exciting as a reinvention when it's done properly. I always wish now Game of Thrones is one, I don't know if you can really do it. I guess you could to some degree, and they changed some things, but it would be even better, I think, if they were to change more. That way it wasn't so close to the original books, the original story, that we knew what was going to happen all the time. Because if you want that story, you can just go read that. If you want to see something new, something different, that's why I love the Walking Dead TV series so much, is because they actually did some different things. They brought in a character like Daryl that's become one of the most popular characters on the show, right next to Rick, probably the second most popular, never existed in the comics. And I think they should just keep doing that. Keep doing some different stuff, keep adding some more stuff on. Everything they've done so far has been really good quality, I feel like. Carol's another great character that's become big in the show and wasn't in the comics at all. So I don't think it should be the same as the comics. Not at all. I mean, if it was, it'd be just like watching what you're reading, and the first season for a bit was like that. And, it's good to have those moments in the show too, but I like how they're changing things and adding things in. It makes it even more exciting for me. Next question is from the Dawsman 1998, and he asks, comic book series Rick versus TV series Rick. Which one do I like better? I've done a video on it before. I have. It's in the channel. I like the comic book series Rick better. Now, I know I just said I like the TV, or in my last Q&A, I like the TV series version of The Walking Dead better than the comic book series version. But if I'm comparing the Ricks from both, in particular, I like the comic book series Rick better. Comic book series. He's up there. He's so small. The Walking Dead figures are so small you can barely even see them on my camera. He's right up there. Yeah, I like him better. He's more badass. I feel like he's more hardened. He's been through more. I mean, he's even been like maimed, like his hand cut off, his leg hurt, and I really feel that struggle that Rick's gone through in the comic book series even more than the TV series. Also, some of the decisions Rick makes in the TV series are more kind. I get the feeling he's more kind and more nice of a person. In the comic book series, I get the feeling that he's more, and it could just be where we're at right now. Maybe the TV series will be like this once we get to that point. But the Rick now in the comic book series, he doesn't trust anybody. He doesn't take shit from anyone. He's a badass. He's a big time badass. Way more badass than the TV series version. So in this case, I got to go with comic book series Rick for sure. And I guess we'll do one more question since we're going on kind of long. So this one's going to be... This is kind of... Okay, this was a comment from Lucky. It wasn't really a question in my last Q&A. And he said that Game of Thrones doesn't have a main character. The Walking Dead does. The Walking Dead is Rick's story, basically, when he was talking about, killing off Rick eventually. And I'm going to go ahead and entirely disagree with him and also talk a bit about it to why I feel that way. The Walking Dead, at least the series itself, is not entirely Rick the way Batman is Batman. You see what I'm saying? You buy a Batman comic book, you get to see Batman in it. And even in that, they've killed Batman off at a certain point. It didn't last very long, but they did. But with The Walking Dead, I don't feel like Rick is The Walking Dead or The Walking Dead is Rick's story. Not anymore. I feel like at this point, The Walking Dead, especially because they're going to be doing a companion series, we've got a video game series that's done incredible. I feel like The Walking Dead is more, not just Rick. The Walking Dead is more like, what would a zombie apocalypse really be like? If characters were really living in that world, what would it be like? Let's see it, and let's see it over the long run. It's not just Rick. It's not just Rick's story the way Batman is Batman's story. I feel like eventually in the comic book series and the TV series, and as we can see in the comic book series now too, Rick, it seems like, is taking more of a back seat, right? And the TV series, eventually I feel like he's going to take more of a back seat too. Maybe eventually be killed off or have another character take the reins, take the lead. Because as Rick becomes a huge leader of the different towns and stuff, he's going to be a character that's going to be in there, yeah, but we're going to have a lot of other characters kind of come up and get focused, like Dante in the comic series right now, and Carl and a lot of the others, right? Rick is the biggest character in The Walking Dead, but I feel like eventually that's going to change, or he's going to withdraw. I don't think Rick equals The Walking Dead, and I don't think that The Walking Dead needs Rick to be successful. My proof of that, video game series. I think the spin-off series is going to be another proof to that. So just to kind of, give my thoughts on your comment. It wasn't really a question. But I 100% disagree with you. I believe in that capacity, Game of Thrones and The Walking Dead are the same. You could kill Rick off The Walking Dead, and you could still have the show be very, very successful. I do believe that. Even though I wouldn't want to see it until his time is done, but I feel like once Rick's story is done, once he's kind of restarted humanity and built up this society that's going to defeat the zombie apocalypse eventually, he can, once his work is done, he can be killed off, or he can retire, or he can do whatever he's going to do, and we're going to follow some new characters. I think it's going to happen. I think it's going to happen eventually, because I think The Walking Dead is that long term. If you look at the comic book series, without going on for too long here, there's a time skip of 2 years that we have to pass. In the TV series, they could go through those 2 years, right, as 2 seasons, right? So in the long run, we're going to see, I think, Rick, just like in the comic book series, more and more and more withdraw from the survival horror battle of a zombie apocalypse and become more of like a leader or manager of this entire society, right? So like a president, so to speak, if you will, and not always have it focus on him. I don't think it always will. I think that's just tunnel vision for people that have watched the TV series but have not read the comic book series all the way up to current date. My thoughts anyway. You're entitled to your opinion. So am I. There's my opinion. Not turning down yours. You can have your opinion. That's cool. So, but anyway, I don't feel like Rick equals The Walking Dead as The Walking Dead equals Rick. Not equal. Don't think so. Not equal to. So anyway, those are my thoughts on this Q&A, guys. I had a couple more here, but for time, we're going to call it here. Maybe I'll do the other few in the channel updates video this weekend leading up to it. Leading up to, of course, the premiere of The Walking Dead Season 5. My gosh, I cannot wait. I'm so excited. Let me know how excited you guys are. Let me know what you think. And if you like this video, please support me. Please thumb it up below. If you want to help support the channel, or me as well, please share it, please favorite it, and if you want to get these videos in your subscriber feed and be able to enter in the giveaway contest for the 5 free copies of The Walking Dead Season 4 on Blu-ray or DVD, please subscribe. And yeah, that's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. As always, it's Trev. Can't wait to see you this weekend. Saying peace.